Episode 32 of the Underseason podcast.
Magic Johnson 32, baby. It's a good feeling.
Who do you think's going to do our intro today?
Magic Johnson.
He might be the Magic Johnson of barbecue, though.
He could be.
What's going on? I'm Ernest Cervantes. I am from Texas, the #1 barbecue in the world. You're watching the Underseason show. Don't be cool, be that fool, and watch this show. Ciao!
Well, it wasn't the Shaquille O'Neal, but it was the Pope.
It was the Pope of barbecue, and he's right. Texas is the home of the best barbecue in the world.
100% it is.
Okie dokie, let's jump into this episode, and what do we have?
In this episode, mate, we've got a knife giveaway, and what a beautiful specimen it is. We've got some barbecue doof. We've got beef Valhalla, a little bit more on that on the menu. Side-by-side steak test, which is really interesting, the results, and a new way of measuring your briskets.
Okay, I'm looking forward to that one. Now, before we jump into the entire episode, we have a giveaway.
And it's a fantastic, one-of-a-kind giveaway, our biggest yet.
Yes, it's our biggest giveaway yet, and let's pull it out here. You're going to open it up, and it's a custom-built brisket knife by Cutthroat Knives.
Tell us a bit more about these, mate. Why have we got them?
As you might know at home, Meat Stock Toowoomba was cancelled. Now, these are generally given as trophies to the winners of the barbecue competition. So if you come first or runner-up, you get yourself a beautiful custom Cutthroat brisket knife, and they're branded with Meat Stock on them. And, well, the competition never went ahead, so we've got two of them. Now, we're going to keep one, but we're going to give one away here. So in this beautiful container, it's packaged beautifully, as only Cutthroat Knives do. And we are going to send one of these anywhere in the world. Now, all you got to do is make sure that you like Cutthroat Knives on Instagram, and then make sure you like us on YouTube.
Yep, leave some comments, subscribe, share us on all your channels, and let's spread the good word of Cutthroat Knives and barbecue and the way we're trying to shed light on it.
Yeah. But to pick a winner, we are just going to pick out of the comments on YouTube. So for this particular episode, jump in, leave us a comment, and then you'll go into the drawer. Then we'll contact you and get your address. And then anywhere you are in this world, we will send you one of these brisket knives. Hopefully you're close, so the freight's not too bad. But we will send you one of these brisket knives just for following the show and being a fan of Cutthroat Knives.
That's it. Jump over on Cutthroat Australia on Instagram and say g'day to Aiden there. And he's having a tough time cracking the algorithm at the moment because Instagram doesn't like showcasing knives. It thinks they're weapons, that sort of thing. But yeah, these are some of the best tools you'll ever see and feel.
And we're really excited to give one away. And I'm more excited we have one in the studio now too.
That's it. I can take mine home and retire it.
All right, so you can see some of the beautiful touches of the knives here in the pictures, and it's a stunning knife. Anyone would be worth it. I don't know what they're worth, but they're bloody worth a bit.
They are. He prefers to call them heirlooms as opposed to knives.
Yeah, because you keep this for generations, I'd say.
Oh, that's exactly right.
Okay, so just to recap, make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel. Make sure you leave a comment on this exact episode, and then make sure you like Cutthroat Knives on Instagram. You're in the drawer. We'll send it anywhere in the world.
That's it. It's going to be a good time.
Right, so on to the episode. It's the fuck up of the week, and let's get started. This one was sent in to us by a good friend of ours. His name's Darren Keat. He's from Smoke King Barbecue. Let's watch what goes on here.
You couldn't do that again if you tried, eh?
What is going on there?
He's just gone for the old sausage snap, and he's hit a melted cheese pocket, I think, and copped the money shot all over himself.
The slow-mo is golden. Yeah, that sausage is kind of like left its mark.
It definitely has.
The part that I really wanted to show you is when he snaps it, take a look at his face here, because
You normally wear a black shirt in barbecue to hide all the stains, but that one's fucking all. It's just.
So I am living on the edge today by wearing a white T-shirt because we are cooking barbecue and it's a big risk, right?
That's exactly.
And like you say, wearing a black T-shirt is normally the fail-safe way to not look so dirty in barbecue, but that was white on black.
Yes, and if you don't rub that out quick enough, that's going to stain and emulsify pretty well.
Look at the look of disappointment on his face, the shock and the disappointment. All right, Moving on to the next one, and this one was posted by Busy Wild, and it was titled "Hell on Hooves."
I don't know
What's
if that's a
happening here?
fuck up. I mean, you'd never do that again, but it could have ended up a lot worse. But you've got the rodeo clown there going in to intervene to get the bull away. He's absolutely collected him and sent him upwards, and he's landed perfectly on the back of the bull. And that's some good bucking riding there.
So I looked it up because I'm like, how tall are bulls? Because if you look here, he's a good 8 foot on top of that bull in the air.
Yeah.
And bulls are about 5 feet. So
Yeah.
he is literally 15 feet in the air and lands in a perfect riding position back on the bull.
That bull would be softer than that dirt, that's for sure.
It's a great landing there. So one thing caught my eye at the end of this video, and where the bulls come out, there's a sponsor, and it's Dr. Joao. What do you reckon, considering how hard that rodeo clown came down on the back of that bull? I thought it might be for fertility clinic.
Yeah, right. I'm pretty sure landing like that now, that guy doesn't have to go get a vasectomy, so it's probably something else.
Well, it turns out that he's into head and neck imaging. You get out there, you ride that bull, and then you're an instant customer of his, I guess.
Yeah, that's it. He's going to determine how bad your concussion is.
Okay, moving on. And speaking of fertility issues, let's watch this one. And we're going to watch it in normal speed, and then we're going to watch it in slow motion. What's happening?
They're trying to split some very solid green bits of oak by the look of it, and that log splitter is not getting through that very easy, so I reckon he's going to need a bit of help here. Oh, no, here comes the sledgehammer.
So he's had a good crack at it, but old Dad here has thought, I'm going to give you a hand with a sledgehammer.
The head of the sledgehammer's come off and collected him right in the jewels.
I'm going to play it in slow motion so that you can see what happens here, but the sledgehammer comes down, the big weight on the edge of the sledgehammer has come off, and it has collected him right in the worst part that you could possibly be hit.
Right in the Star of Texas, mate. How's Dad's boots? He's got the big cowboy boots. He's got the phone clipped on the outside of the pocket, and yeah, walk it off. Be a man.
He's going to have to go to see Dr. Joao.
I hope he doesn't want grandkids.
Look at the pain on his face. Oh,
It was instant, and the thing is that's going to be a creeper too. Like, the initial shock's going to hurt, but you know when you get hit in the nuts real bad, it takes about a good 5 minutes, and then it really starts to sink in.
but that's full force, a big, hefty weight too.
Yeah. Oh, dear.
Thanks for your help, Dad.
That's it. I can't watch that anymore.
Okay, videos of the week. Now, these are some things that we have seen on the socials that have caught our eye. We generally share them with each other on WhatsApp. So this one was sent in to us by Lee Squires, and it was posted by Meat Hanger. Now, me and you are pretty au fait when it comes to very heavily marbled meat. This one might take the cake, so let's play.
Yeah, that looks to be about 95% fat, 5% beef running through the middle there. But with the quality of this video, I reckon it's probably going to surprise us. So he's got some wood chips going on in there, a bit of smoke going on. I'm intrigued.
So this is smoked Z5 Wagyu. He says it's probably the best piece of steak he's ever had with a 5 to 95 meat to fat ratio. And he says it literally disappears in your mouth.
I don't know if that's the same piece of meat though. Like, it looks there like it's got more steak actually through it than it did. I had some banging Wagyu at Meat Stock a couple of weeks ago and I didn't need to chew it. So I'm becoming more and more a fan of this heavily marbled fat rendered meat.
So I've got a few questions about this particular video here because what you're looking at on the right is the final product. Now, it looks a little bit different to what he puts in the pan. Do you think it's the same cuts?
I don't know, mate. I reckon we've got some camera tricks going on here and, yeah, he could be trolling the internet. But, yeah, whatever. That's what social media is for, mate, generating content and getting engagement. So,
Well, he said he cooked this to medium rare perfection. And what we're looking at here is the end result, which actually kind of looks like a nice parcel. But part of me thinks he is trolling because at the very end of this video, he puts it on a bed of what looks to be plain tomato sauce.
yeah, he's added some watercress or just picked some clovers from his nature strip, used
looks
that
like
as the
some grass.
presentation bed. And, yeah, the big squirt of, Waddy sauce at the end there is just like, what?
So there's no doubting his production quality is fantastic. I don't know. That's just like, may as well just eat a big piece of tallow to me.
Yeah, that's it.
All right, if you've ever eaten a steak with this much fat in it, let us know. But that's 95%. That's all fat. It's just a blob of fat, to be honest.
Yep.
Okay, next. This one was posted by the Get On Festival in the UK, and they called this the Le Grill. What are we looking at?
Oh, they've built themselves a sick little DJ booth inside what looks to be a mock smoker, and they've got the lights in there to make it look like it's on fire, the smoke machine, all that sort of thing, and good times, man.
So it's really awesome. It's a DJ booth, but it's in the shape of a smoker. It's got a smoke machine in there, red lights. It looks legit. Everyone looks like they're having fun.
That's it. I don't reckon there's too many snags getting eaten there, more so the biscuits, I would imagine.
So
They've even got grills at the front there.
they got grills with smoke coming out the front.
That's cool.
So Comedy Joe called it the hottest stage ever.
Good times. Bringing the party wherever you want.
Well done, Le Grill. It's probably the most awesome DJ booth I've ever seen.
That's it.
So full marks to the Get On Festival for the creativity there.
Send it.
Next, this one was posted by the United Tacos of America, and it was titled Taco Technology, The Future is Here. And let's watch. It's happening.
So we've got old mate here using his hat to try and flap the air onto the charcoal to get it lit. Then Dad's popped in with the drone, and the downward force of the air from the drone is actually getting that stuff properly lit. But get it out of the way, it's getting hot.
So you can see at one point as we watch this video, it's a bit of a setup. The son is sort of trying to make the coals go alight by waving his hat. So they bring the drone in. That thing gets going quick.
It rears up real quick, doesn't
It
it?
gets going so quick that you can hear the dad panic at the end because all of a sudden he's like, I think my drone's going to melt.
Yeah, it would too if you weren't careful.
So cool video by the United Tacos of America. Moving on, we've got another one of those barbecue platter competitions. We've seen a lot of them happening in Australia and New Zealand, and this is an entry by the Cook Cartel. And other than that, I don't know much about it. I don't know where it was, but that's a cool looking platter of barbecue that was handed in at a competition.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure this was an open fire festival. These are some pretty powerful forces combined here. You had Steve Cook from the Cook Cartel and Ken Van Mackelberg from Barbecue Bay of Islands teaming up here, and they smashed this one out of the park. And I think the prerequisite to be able to do one of these platters is to be able to carry the bloody thing and get it to the judge in one piece.
So he says a little bit of everything, tons of flavour, multiple profiles. And we're looking at a really good looking platter of barbecue here. It looks like is that beef ribs or pork ribs? There's definitely lamb cutlets there. There's lamb ribs as well, some tacos. It looks to be a pineapple and feta salad, some chimichurri. And I think in the corner there's some Alabama white chicken.
Yeah, these boys definitely know what they're doing on a culinary level. Michael and Steve Cook came to Meat Stock Sydney and absolutely towed everyone up a couple of weeks ago. So they definitely
didn't
know. Yeah, they GC'd. All because I spray painted their logo on the Meat Stock art wall. Had nothing to do with their cooking expertise. And checks in the mail for that one.
On that, I can remember before you did it, someone actually said to you, do not jinx them by putting their logo on the wall. And you went, no, it's fine. If I do that, they'll win. And they fucking did.
Well, that's it. It was always a prerequisite. I love the boys, and we wanted to test the theory because I did it to them in Melbourne, and they won Meat Stock. The last time we had a Meat Stock in Melbourne, they GC'd. So, yeah, they really want to clean up Hamilton next year because they've never won that Meat Stock, and they reckon they're going to come to Toowoomba next year to try and get a clean sweep.
Right. Well, they're on fire right now.
They bloody oath, pun intended.
Okay. On to the news. We've got a little bit of news. Let's share this one. It's a pretty big one. A couple of episodes ago, we called Matt Pittman, a.k.a. Meat Church, the biggest person in barbecue today. And I think he took a bit of notice, and now he's following us.
Awesome. It's always good to see that. He's probably got our notifications turned off, though.
So he got a bit of a kick out of that Lamborghini video, and he sent us a little bit of a DM, having a laugh. But there's no word yet on whether he's going to get a NASCAR.
Yeah, that's it. He's probably too busy having fun.
Yeah, good on him. Okay, there's a new TV show out in Australia, and this one, I don't know, it's a bit different. What's the go here?
Here we have the boys from Black Bear doing a bit of cooking, and I think this is a TV show revolving around guys' obsession with barbecue and their lawns. But yeah, I don't know too much. This is sort of only a pilot episode that's only just come out, but I mean, with Ben and Chop doing the cooking, you know there's going to be some quality Q, and yeah, everyone knows me for giving the guys on the show a bit of a stick about their backyards and that sort of thing. But by the look of it, the lawn segment of this is going to be next level. That guy's like a full greenkeeper.
So the show's called Aussie Mates and Their Lawns and Barbecue, and it's a bit of a match made in heaven.
8 years ago, this would have been popular when people still watched Channel 7, but yeah, I'm sure it'll make its way to Netflix or YouTube soon. So
That was a bit of a delayed head lift there too, wasn't it?
it was. The boys are a bit delayed, but you know.
If you're into your barbecue and you're into the lawns and you watch a bit of Seven Mate, then this is the show for you.
That's it. Get around it.
Okay. Failed or nailed? It's that time. You're going to get put on the spot, bro.
All right, I'm ready. Oh, got to get my warm-ups in. It's only because I've got a crook shoulder.
All right, we ready?
Let's go.
Okay.
Yeah, nailed. It's a taco. It looks good, except I don't know what's going on the top there.
So it was posted by Obvious Chemical, and he says, French fries on a carne asado taco, roast me, he says.
Oh, well, he didn't roast the potatoes by the look of it. But no, it still looks good. That meat looks good, well seasoned, a good bit of guacamole and a corn tortilla. But yeah, just either do less by not putting the chips on or actually cook them.
In the comments, somebody said, are these sun-cooked potatoes?
The old sun-dried variety.
It looks like he also sun-cooked the tortilla there.
Yeah, it needs a bit more heat on it. There's not many bubbly edges going on there. So it's amazing how much of a difference it makes to actually heat your tortilla before you put a taco filling in it.
I will say sometimes in the photos, it doesn't come across as looking cooked, but it probably is.
Yeah.
There's fries. They're not quite fries yet.
No,
I'd still call them potatoes.
that's it.
Okay, next.
No context, just nailed. Burrito tacos, nailed. Every single fucking one of them in my belly.
So it was posted by Confident Ad, and he goes, made some birria. That's all he says.
That's all he needed to say. He didn't even say that. He just puts the photo down, bang.
He doesn't need to do anything else. So when it comes to birria tacos, I think of Broke Boy in New Zealand. I think of Barbecue Mafia in Australia. There's Teddy Reds in LA and Space City in Texas. They're the ones that sort of jumped to mind when I was putting this together. So they became popular about 20 years ago in Tijuana, and then it spread to LA about 10 years ago, and now it's kind of spreading all over the world. These things are popping up everywhere.
Yeah, that's it. But if you want to be a real stickler for tradition, a lot of these guys aren't actually selling birria because it's traditionally made with goat,
Right.
which is, funnily enough, the most commonly eaten meat in the world. But here it's traditionally done with beef, especially beef short rib, which would translate to being called barbacoa.
Okay.
But, I mean, I'm not a stickler for tradition, mate. Give
No,
me that.
if
All
it-
of them.
if it tastes
Birria,
delicious, I'm in.
Barara, Balilla, whatever you want to fucking call it, I'm going to eat it.
Okay, moving on. Are you ready?
Yep. Failed.
How? You need to squint more. Anyone watching this at home, just pause and squint. Do a little squint. It looks pretty good to me. The more you squint, the better it looks.
Is that served on thick cut bread?
So this one was posted by Annie Rose Spencer, and she goes, I saw this on a rando page, and I thought you would enjoy. It's a BBLT.
This
What have we got
sandwich
here?
needs to settle down. It looks like a bit of turkey meat that's been cut, and it almost looks AI, and it's sort of in the shape of a woman. I think all of us at some stage of our life has received a photo like that on the old Snapchat, but
Well, it's a good-looking sandwich. I don't know. For me, it's more of like a BBWLT.
depends where you're putting your search engine in, mate.
I challenge anyone to squint and not tell me this doesn't look all right.
Everyone right now. There's your thumbnail, mate.
Okay, moving on. This one was posted by Pete Hommel, and he says, I smoked this brisket at 225 degrees for 13 and a half hours. I wrapped it in tinfoil after 5 hours. The internal temp was 200 when I took it off, and then I put it in the cooler for 2 hours. So what I'm asking of you here is to establish whether this is going to be a fail or nail once he cuts it.
What you've just basically described is the way I'd go about doing a brisket, so I'm going to say he's nailed it.
Okay. He also says, and this might change your mind, he injected it with beef broth and then cooked it fat side up.
It sounds bloody the way I'd do it, so I'm going to say he's nailed it.
Rightio. Let's have a look.
Ooh, it's jerky. It's still probably good, but
She needs a bit of hydration, I think. I don't know. I think he should have maybe injected it with Gatorade at this point because it needs a bit of hydration.
I'm getting cotton mouth looking at it. What happened? Where did he go wrong?
Someone in the comments said it looks a bit like brisket taxidermy.
Kind of does, but I don't know, like he's obviously done something wrong or lied about his process because every step he said he took should have been the right one.
Well, I don't have the exact comments here, but he does say that he has done 4 or 5 of these and they've all been good and he doesn't really understand why. And I just think sometimes you get a brisket and it just doesn't play nice, especially if you're getting them from different locations every time. So if you're used to buying them from one particular supplier or one particular sort of farm, and then all of a sudden you buy it from somewhere else and it's not as good, sometimes you just get a bad one.
Yeah, that's it. Unfortunately, there's nothing you can do about it.
No. Someone said you could make a nice pair of moccasins from this.
Look, you could slice it up into cubes, put it in some gravy and still make a great pie.
Yeah. Okay, moving on to some talking points. So these are some things we're going to have a chat about on the show. And let's watch this. I'm going to turn the volume up just so we can hear what you say, because this one blew my mind, and it's of you.
Blew my mind.
What are you feeling? How's the mouth feel?
It's a celebration. It's literal. I'm at the beach, bro. I'm herding cattle through salt water right now. Wow.
Okay. So I'm going to quote you here. You are eating something and you've tasted it, and your reflection on what you're eating is, I'm herding cattle through salt water right now.
Yep.
That is the most Anthony Bourdain thing I've heard anyone say other than him.
Mate, this here was the first thing I ate all day on the Sunday of meat stock, and it was there. Chef Ray from Firepop, he served me this. Basically, it was a piece of raw Australian A5 Wagyu chuck loin, and it was served on top of a piece of toast, sea urchin butter, and then we had the said Wagyu beef on the top. And the only part of this dish I had to chew was the bread. It was insane. It dissolved. It was off its absolute head. And I just had pictures of, growing up surfing back in the day. So where I grew up in Tassie was quite close to Cape Grim and Robbins Island, especially known for its Wagyu. And you would see the cattle, the cattlemen down there actually moving the cows at low tide over to the island through like waist deep seawater.
Wow. So that's where you got the reference from. You went right back to your childhood of surfing in Tasmania.
I did, mate. It was insane. It was just absolute fucking crazy.
So tell me a little bit about Firepop themselves. They've come out of kind of nowhere. They've been able to source Wagyu beef that it seems like no one else can find. They did a few pop-ups. They did meat stock, I want to say, back in 2022. And then they've started their own bricks and mortar restaurant, which got itself a chef's hat within like a couple of months.
Yeah, so they opened their brick and mortar, and as you say, I think 3 months they were open, they got their hat. They actually specialise in a lot of seafood too, but what Ray was telling us was a lot of his Wagyu, it's Australian grown and it's allocated to him. So you can't just hit up your local butcher and say, I want to get some of this. Like, this beef is actually grown to end up in his restaurant in, 18 months' time or whatever. Yeah, he was so knowledgeable, so passionate about what was going on. And, so they've got this little booth that was set up at Meat Stock. He's got all these awards stuck on the front. He always wins Best Vendor at the Sydney Royal Show. But so you've got the hot kitchen, which is actually cooking this beef for some of the menu items, which is usually just cooked with a blowtorch or on a hibachi. When I got there, Michael Rose was in the queue. I was talking to him and I was looking inside, and Chef Ray was in there, and he's actually in a refrigerated room slicing this steak as it's come up to order. And he's tapped on the window and come out and taken us through this massive degustation to the point where people were coming up thinking that they were samples, and we were having to shoo them away because this was, some of the best beef at the showgrounds at that particular time. And yeah, he's so passionate, so knowledgeable. And I think we've got to get a bit of a crew together, mate, and get to that brick and mortar store and see what all the fuss is about.
Yeah, well, let's wrap up and move on to the next section. But before we do that, tell me again what you said when you tasted this.
So I felt that I was herding cattle through salt water on the beach, and a lot of that flavour was coming through the intense umami of the sea urchin butter, which I didn't think I was going to like because I've had kinner and sea urchin on their own before, and my experience of that was it like someone had blown snot down my snorkel. That's what I figured kinner tasted like. But this, mate, was Absolutely amazing. I'll never forget that moment.
Okay, well, we'll have to get to Fire Pop at some time.
Yeah, bloody oath we will, mate, and have a real celebration.
And what a legend, too.
He's such a legend.
Okay, so moving on, Ryan McGrath posted this one. He says, following recent comments that there is no need to pay the extra money for more expensive steaks, as the difference would be marginal, I did a little experiment last weekend, and he's got 2 very different looking steaks here.
Yeah, the quality difference there is paramount, isn't it?
Yeah, so we've got a piece of what looks to be a normal steak that you'd maybe buy from a supermarket, and then a very heavily marbled steak of the same cut.
Yeah, that's it. And that comment about not paying the money, it depends who that's coming from. It's probably coming from this guy, so that you buy more of that and less of that.
Maybe. So he cooks them. He slices them up here, and I'm struggling to see the difference.
Yeah, what's he done? The old switcheroo? I reckon he has, because this one here looks like it's got the bigger fat knuckle through the middle.
I think he's done the switcheroo. So he says both steaks were the same weight, they had the same rubs, the same cooking method, the same times, and they were within 3 to 4 degrees Fahrenheit of each other when he took them off.
And what was the verdict?
So he says there was a clear texture difference between the 2 steaks. He said both were nice, but he would pay the extra money. He thought it was worth it.
Yeah, right. Depends how many you're feeding too. If it's just a bachelor steak, then, you know, quality all the time. But if you got kids like mine that love steak one night and not so much the next, and sometimes it ends up in the leftover bin.
For me, it just depends on how much you're paying. So I'd love to say that, you know, I'm out there buying heavily marbled steaks every second night of the week, but the reality is you got a family, you got budgets and what the rest of it. So I think all good things in moderation, and keep those heavily marbled cuts for special occasions.
That's it. I agree.
Okay.
What the fuck is that?
So it's called using a banana for scale. And I think it's been around since the start of the internet here. It's also the default measurement unit of scale for the Dull Men's Club on Facebook.
We do love the Dull Men's Club. Lots of quality content comes out of those guys.
So this is kind of where it all originated here. I think someone has a safe, and it was a tiny little safe, and they put a banana next to it for scale. It kind of went viral. This one also went viral because the lady didn't know how big a TV was, so she stuck a banana to it to try and determine how big the TV was before she put it on the equivalent of Facebook Marketplace. So it's become the internet's default measurement of scale for things. But for barbecue, I feel like it's different. And I'm going to prove that point right now. I think it's babies. It's babies, not bananas, it's babies.
Yeah, but how big's your baby?
So what we're looking at here is a massive big tomahawk. I actually think this is a black bear tomahawk maybe. And it's next to what looks to be a little 1-month-old baby. And they've used the baby for scale so that you can see how big the steak is, because the steak is bigger than the baby.
Yeah, he's got his legs up though. But yeah, my baby's inexperienced, you know. I've got young girls, so their measurements are still fresh in my mind. They were sort of all about the 51 centimetre length there from top to tail. So yeah, that tomahawk's still a good 450 mil.
Well, I reckon the spinalis is as big as the head.
Yeah, true.
If I superimpose that on top, I reckon it'd be pretty close.
Then why haven't you?
Okay. So to keep proving my point, I've got another one. You got a proud father here with the baby and his mate, and they're using the brisket for scale next to the baby.
The mate's happier than the dad because he's got the brisket, not the baby. The brisket's only going to keep him awake for one night, but that guy's got a lifetime ahead of him. I feel you, bro.
So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to flick through a whole heap of photos that are using babies for scale when it comes to barbecue. And
that's not safe, bro. She'll yeet herself off that in the blink of an eye.
And it doesn't just stop at barbecue. I think it's for all food things.
How big's your burrito?
There's 2 burritos next to 2 babies.
Surely they're not for one person, though.
Those burritos are as big as those babies.
They're huge. Footy.
I started to think about this because there's quite a lot of photos with babies and barbecue or burritos or whatever we've shown. And so I thought I'd try and come up with a default measurement. Like if you had, say, a 3 kilo brisket, you wouldn't call it a 3 kilo brisket. You'd say this brisket is a 1-monther because you'd be referring to the baby, right? But if you had an 8 kilo brisket, it'd be a 1-year-old brisket or a 1 year brisket. So I've got some photos here to illustrate. But then I saw this picture, and this kid's like 6 next to a brisket, and it's still a good reference for scale.
It's still a big brisket.
So I think it's either infants or kids. I think both have a place.
And let's not even go down the route of like how to make your fish look bigger.
All right, we're going to move on. And we have some mail. I love getting mail. And it says, "What's up, dudes? It's Tao Tao from England. Love the podcast. Tried my first barbecue of the year. It was barbecue burnt ends. I used flank steaks and applewood. How did I do?" Let's look at the picture.
Yeah, still a bit steaky for my liking as far as the sort of squishy pillows of meat go that you're trying to achieve on burnt ends. But either way, it's a win.
So I think they call these poor man's burnt ends, and usually they use chuck steak, not flank. He says they were nice. Next time I'll try and get a bit more bark on them. I think he's on the money. I think that's the right feedback. He just needs a bit more bark.
Well, we all know the way to get better at barbecue is to keep doing it. And the journey is just as fun as the result.
Yeah, so I think if you got a better bark next time, and don't forget, it was his first cook of the year, so it can only get better from there.
That's it. Summer's over, though. You only got one day of it in England.
So Butcher Barbecue fan dash Pitmaster sent us this one. I think his name is Thero Nassos. He says, "My jalapeno smash burger. It's jalapenos two ways. Fresh, thin sliced, and then he pushes them into the patties. And then also thin sliced, fried, and coated with flour, and then they go on the burger."
Jesus, looks like I'm going to shit my pants. Looks good.
It does look good.
But yeah, it looks angry. All those jalapenos all up in there. It's, it's going to be a battle.
And that yellow stuff, it looks like cheddar cheese, but it's not. It's a sauce with mayo, sriracha, honey, and lime zest.
Cool. Also, too, touching back on the last jalapeno smash burger we had on the show, we had a few accredited chili heads pipe up in the comments on where we mentioned that the seeds make the chili hotter. That's actually been proven to be not true. It's the little white veins inside the chili where if you want to cool your chili down, you take them out.
The seeds don't matter.
The seeds don't do anything.
Learn something new every day.
That's it. It could all be capped, though, so don't take our word for it.
Okay, so I looked this guy up. His name's Nassos. He says, "I live in Greece. I'm 52 years old. I've been a butcher since 1995. I got into barbecue pretty seriously recently. We have a new burger joint in Athens, and we are, if not the number one shop, for sure amongst the top 3 burger places in Greece."
Looks pretty good.
He also posted this video, which caught my eye. It's low and slow smoked beef feather blade.
Jeez, that was just butter, wasn't it?
Oh, that thing fell apart.
Put our beef shin to shame.
So, Nassos, thanks for sending that in. We love getting mail. If you've got anything that's cool or you think that something's flown under the radar but it's cool, send it in to us because we'd love to feature it on the show. I don't know if I'd need that many jalapenos in my life on a burger, but if I haven't tried it, I can't judge.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
Okay, so the next one that was sent in to us was by Lee Vietnam, and he says, hey fam, loving the show and tuning in, and he sent us this video, so let's watch.
All right.
Got some beef ribs, they look pretty well cooked.
Some shorties. Oh, pulling out the beef teeth. Good time. Let's chop it up. What's going on? What's he doing? A po' boy, you reckon?
The butter?
Bit of butter, bit of beef, bit of salt. Oh, fuck off. It's a banh mi. It's a beef short rib banh mi. You should have known by the name, Le Vietnam. But I'm into that. Look at that beef. Oh, he's just taking a big bite out of it. I'm sold, bro. That was so good.
So that is sensational. He's turned the beef ribs into a banh mi, and it looks cracking. And the beef ribs look as cooked to perfection as they possibly can be. He's then given them a rough chop, got a nice big Vietnamese roll, and then added all the ingredients in for a banh mi, and it looks unbelievable.
So good. Smashing. I'm happy with that coriander placement too, mate.
And then he grabs the beef ribs, takes a big bite out of them, shoves them back in front of the camera. I was that impressed, I went looking up this guy, who I didn't really know, but he's called the Banh Mi King, and it's a title that was handed to DJ Lee, and he's the owner of Lee Vietnam, and they celebrated their 10th anniversary recently. He's from Perth, Australia, and he is a pioneer of a new generation of delicious banh mi.
So do you reckon that now with this new wave that the only thing you need to make a banh mi is to have the roll, the veggies, and then you can pretty well slap whatever meat you want in there?
I think you can start really getting creative with what meat you do put in them because the essential flavour is there, but I think the protein differences can really just change the game a little bit, right? Because I've seen them done with pork belly, and that's amazing as well. I mean, when you go to Vietnam and you have them on the street, it's kind of like mystery meat, and to be honest, it's very spamish. So to actually replace what I would consider to be a very low quality meat with a very high quality smoked meat can only elevate this dish.
Yeah, that's it. And a lot of the current trend at the moment with the banh mi delis is to do the roast pork or the smoked pork and then add the crackling as well. That's a good time.
So this photo on the left was taken at Big Don's, and it was titled Phenomenal Wagyu Beef Brisket Banh Mi dipped in a rich faux bone marrow consommé.
Jesus, that's a lot to unpack.
Yeah, so he's no slouch. And I also went digging through his Facebook. He's got a couple of other cool flavours. One is a lamb barbacoa, and then the other one here on the right is a roast duck. So yet another reason for us to go to Perth.
Yeah, bloody oath. And once you've made the roster at Big Don's, that's a big feather in your hat, isn't it?
Yeah. Next, Art by Sigh. And is there been an episode where we haven't featured this guy's bloody name?
What, his or mine?
Boomers.
But no,
it's not pronounced boomer.
No, it's Boomer.
Boomer.
Yeah, a lot of people, when Boomer released this artwork, sort of thought that...
That's the crocodile tattoo!
Yeah, that's why I didn't want to go in too much detail about it last week because we hadn't revealed this on the show yet. But this is going to be Boomer's upcoming merch design. And here, if you look on the finger, I've put a little smiley face because Boomer was once compared to, with his bald head, as a smiley face on a finger. So at Meat Stock Sydney, he actually got his thumb tattooed with a smiley face on it. So he's got his own little self-portrait. So yeah, Boomer's an absolute champion, man. Like, I was thrown under the bus episode 1 by you, and Boomer's Fat Fire has become a recurring theme amongst the show, and to the point where a lot of people thought that he and I might not have got along, but I've been a fan of Boomer since the start, mate, and I'm always in his corner, and we're going to get him on the show soon. But yeah, keep an eye out. This is going to be his next run of merch, and this was a super fun one of him depicting his XD Falcon that he's got and his pig pit being towed and everything else that makes Boomer Boomer. The main bit of criticism I got for this was the wheels are actually turning on the Falcon while that thing is never running.
No, it's always in the garage, I think.
Yes.
And do you reckon it could do a burnout?
I reckon it could if it had a smoker tied on the back because it wouldn't pull it forward.
All right, smashing design, and on to the next one. Now, this one is a full piece back tattoo, and it's done on a friend of ours.
Yeah, this is on Mike Johnson, bruh. Bruh.
Where's the bruh come from?
This is an Italian tattooist who has just recently moved to Orange County, and he's trying to, I guess, learn the local lingo by adding the word bruh to the end of everything.
So his name's Francesco Ferrara, and he's from Orange County at Gold Rush Tattoo. And he's titled this Hot Tats in California, bruh.
Yeah, so at Meat Stock Hamilton, I had a good hangout with Mike, and he showed me this guy's Instagram. He's like, what do you think about this, man? I think I'm committing to a back piece with this guy. So we're going to document this whole journey, I think. But yeah, Mike from Sugarfire Smokehouse in St. Louis there, good friend of the show. He's just embarked on a very long and grueling journey of getting his back tattooed.
He looked like he got the entire thing outlined in one hit.
Yep, and that's probably an 18-round liner that's going around there, the nice, big, thick, bold outline, and Mike did not enjoy this at all.
I wouldn't have enjoyed a tenth of it. Okay, I've looked this guy up. He's done some epic back pieces, though, by the way. Critique these ones.
He has. I can't critique them, mate. They're all banging, but I think since moving to California, last I checked on Instagram, he'd clocked up 56 commenced back pieces. The back piece can be just as grueling for the tattooer as it can from the person receiving it. So he's got a very heavy European traditional style going on here, and yeah, he's got some Japanese influence on the right one there with the Fudo and Jesus Christ on the cross on the left hand side. But yeah, awesome work, very heavily saturated in colour. You got to earn one of these, bro. It's not going to be easy.
No, I don't think the numbing cream covers a patch this big for that long.
No.
But the saturation is on point.
It's so good. It just looks like a giant big sticker.
So it's Francesco Ferrara, if you want to look him up on Instagram.
Bruh.
Okay, artist profile. Now, this one is a little bit, is it personal, I guess? But tell us a little bit about this, because you've got this piece on your table there.
We have. This is from a good buddy of the show and now a buddy of mine personally. I got to finally meet him after talking for years on Instagram at Meatstock. Cam George, a.k.a. Regenerskate. He's, over the last 12 months, moved over to Brisbane from New Zealand, where when he was back in his home country there, he did a lot of recycled furniture with beer crates, old skateboards, things like that. And now he's finally got his workshop established in his new place of residence in Queensland, and he's ready to start taking on commissions and start punching out a heap of work. He gifted this one to the show. If we're in the 90s, this would be Nan's ashtray, but it's more of a key bowl, I think, but it's got half the beautiful recycled hardwood and the skateboard decks on the side there. He's turned this on the lathe himself, but yeah, he assures me he's going to come to Meatstock Toowoomba next year and set up a stand and have all these wares for sale. But if you want anything in the meantime, look him up, Regenerskate. Check it out.
Okay, so what we're looking at here is some pictures of him building his workshop. So he's obviously just got this workshop up because he wants to make this a career, I'm guessing.
Yeah, that's it. It was always a bit of a hobby for him. He started to get a bit of momentum in New Zealand and then decided to relocate over here. It was just a garage and he's right into his cars. I think he does up like old rotaries and that sort of thing. And he's also into his barbecuing. So he had to sort of divide his shed up into 3 little different compartments. But yeah, now he's got his workshop up and running. I reckon that's going to consume all his time.
And what we're looking at here is a whole heap of really cool items. I mean, one's a baseball bat. We've got a bowl over there too, but they're all made out of recycled old skateboards. That's the key.
Not just skateboards either. You've got the old electricity cable wheel there where he's turned it into a big round table with some stools. But yeah, I'm pretty sure his main focus is recycled and reclaimed timber.
Good stuff. And we love highlighting some creative people on the show, and this one's no different.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Okay, we've got a bit of food fashion. It's been a while since we've had a bit of food fashion. Did you just raise your little eyebrows at me then?
I did. Food fashion.
Cool. Okay, so this one was posted by Joanna Williamson, and she says, I searched multiple secondhand markets and found these vintage bracelets, and then I put them together to create the perfect cheeseburger bangle stack.
Looks fucking cool.
It's cool. What are we looking at?
Well, it looks like at first glance that someone's made a cheeseburger bangle, but it's not. It's actually the wearer's constructed this herself, and it's just different bangles put in an order to make it look like a cheeseburger.
It's been stolen.
Oh, my Lord.
And she's stolen it from Anna Jakubik Chenard, who posted this to the Weird Art Group. And she says, you may have seen the cheeseburger bangle stack that I created that made the rounds a few weeks ago. And then she says, well, that was a hit. And then I knew I needed a whole outfit to go with it. Behold my cheeseburger cosplay. So this is the original. She's not only done the bangle, but now she's gone and got a whole outfit complete with shoes. She's done a whole cosplay of hamburger outfits.
She's got a pickle beret.
She does too.
It's so good. This is what happens when you make your whole personality about cheeseburgers.
Speaking of pickles, I'm still burping up that pickle from last week.
Jeez, you had a rough night after that, didn't you?
I think I had the sweats. Pretty cool. Very talented girl. It sucks how people steal your stuff and claim it on the internet, but I'm glad we dug deep and found the originator.
Well, I've got a saying, and it is, once you put it on the internet, it's not yours anymore.
That's very true. Okay, we are on to our dish of the week, and it's the end of the show, but tell me about it before you run off a little bit here. What are we looking at in this cabinet?
Righto, so at Meatstock a couple of weeks ago, the legends at Sutcliffe Meats had a beautiful cabinet there full of Australian and Japanese Wagyu. And I basically figured that because we've copped a fair bit of stick on our viral videos and that sort of thing, a lot of people like to say that us Aussies are too bogan and uncultured to even know what A5 tastes like. These guys actually supplied us some, and I'm going to try my best not to fuck it up, and we're going to serve it on the show.
So we've got a bit of Maldon salt.
We have, mate. I've actually been affected by an influencer. Matt Burgess there, I saw him plugging the old Maldon salt. So when I saw it in the supermarket, I paid too much for it. But, quality in, quality out.
So we've got a great steak seasoned just with salt, and a really good salt, the Maldon salt. But that's it. That's all you did.
That's it, mate. And, got the cast iron pan red hot with some good New Zealand grass-fed butter. And I was bloody nervous doing this, mate. I'm not going to lie, because we give everyone else doing all these cooks a fair bit of stick on the show. It was my time to sort of put my money where my mouth was.
Right. Well, I want to listen to the sound of when you put this steak in, because I think that's the judge of how well the pan is heated.
Righto.
Oh, that was a good sound too, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was a relieving sound. And now it was just a matter of don't overcook it. Please don't fuck it. I could be on next week's fuck up of the week, you know.
Okay, here it is sizzling away. The flip looks pretty good.
That was after about a minute.
Flipped it over, out and for a rest. Been resting for about 10 minutes and it's your time to shine.
Woo! Normally you would rest for a bit longer, but we're pressed for time here today.
10's all right. I went to Malden when I was in the UK. I went to a festival there called Smoke and Fire Festival, and it was in the town of Malden, and that's where Malden salt comes from. So in honour of the beautiful town of Malden.
Do you want to give it a bit of a sprinkle, mate? Get a little bit more on there?
Well, you've got the gloves on.
Fair enough, mate.
You know, you can't get involved in
as
barbecue.
usual.
I don't want you to then turn around and say I salted it wrong, and that's why you ended up on fuck up of the week.
Got the salt. Got the glove on the right hand for a change. That's something new for me. I'm just going to go and christen this brand new Cutthroat knife we've got, mate.
So don't forget, if you want to win that knife or this amazing knife, you can skip back to the start again on how to enter, but you can win this knife. It could be yours.
The actual knife that cut this beautiful piece of Wagyu.
Pause for a second, because I've been busy over here drooling and I've forgotten it's actually my job to take a video of you doing this.
It wouldn't be the first time, mate. We've had to film
again.
full episodes because you've missed the stunt cam. Right, next slice is the reveal.
Don't fuck it up. Let's go. Oh, I think you've done all right.
I'm pretty happy with that.
Oh, you've done all right. Okay.
It's still warm too, I could feel it, so it's definitely not raw.
You've done well. Pick up that last piece for me and give me a show. Done good, mate. Done good. Whew. Okay, looks like you've done pretty well to me. So what's the go here? Just grab a slice and down the hatch?
Grab a couple, mate, and don't forget to cheers.
Yep, looks good to me. Cheers. Oh, God.
Wow.
It's like butter. Still got the texture of beef, which I think is important, but it's just butter.
Wow.
Wow.
I'm not quite herding cows through salt water, but I'm doing something. Look at that. It's all fat.
Dude, that's sensational. So just recap the whole thing for me again. The steak is from...
Sutcliffe Meats. It's a Japanese A5 strip loin.
And we've cooked it for maybe 2 minutes tops.
Absolutely tops, yep. In a cast iron pan with some good grass-fed butter. Turning once.
Finished with the Malden salt, and that is absolutely smashing. I can't believe how good that is.
I'm just glad I didn't fuck it, mate. I think we've done it justice.
I was worried for you.
I know you were.
I didn't need to doubt you, but I was worried for you because
But you certainly weren't helping.
I was recording the whole thing.
Oh, dear.
No, you've done good because I was a bit funny about when you pulled out the cast iron pan with the butter because I was like, you don't quite get the char on the outside, but you've got plenty of char on that, and it's so tender in the middle, it's unbelievable. Okay, on to the Encore. It's the end of the show here, and I'm going to pop up a photo you haven't seen before, and you're going to tell me what the hell's going on.
Let's go. What the fuck? The first person that comes to mind is Mel Schmiller Jr. because he always told me that if he could, he would cook a unicorn.
Right, okay, if he could. It's a horse-looking chicken.
It is. It's reconstructed.
It's a full Chinese-style cooked chicken, and it's been reconstructed into the shape of a horse, a galloping horse at that. It was posted by Lily Sahara, and it says, "This horse is ready to race." Straight into my mouth.
I don't know, man. Has it been boiled?
I don't know, is that the sort of like...
It looks like raw pastry.
It does. Look, I'm not a fan of that Chinese-style chicken with the floppy skin on the outside. I kind of want my skin to be nice and charry.
Yeah, that's it. Portuguese style for me, thanks.
Yeah. Well, this might look appetizing to you, but it doesn't to me. And that brings us to the end of the show.
That's it. And yeah, don't forget, Cutthroat knife going to be given away after you guys get around this episode. Like, comment, subscribe, follow Cutthroat. Yeah, good times. Cook a steak like that, slice it up, give it to your mates, and if you got any ideas,
Look
send
how
them in.
chuffed you are. You're chuffed. You
it's
should be
fucking
too.
relief, bro. It's relief.
You should be chuffed because it was fucking amazing. But,
It was, because I'm not going to lie, I've fucked plenty of steaks in my time. But
So,
I
truth-
Googled that flat out, like, best way to cook Meta AI, I don't use ChatGPT because I'm a poor man, but Meta AI said best way to do it, screaming hot skillet, bit of butter, very quickly, just get the crust. Let the steak talk to you.
Okay. Well, truth be told, when we do cook things on the show, we're kind of in the middle of a podcast. There's no one else around. It's just us in the studio, right? So there's no one cooking. We've got to somehow do this podcast and cook at the same time, and you have to smash that.
That's it. And when we do get help, it's to polish up the leftovers.
True. Okay. What do you say?
See you next Tuesday.
See ya.